Hello guys, welcome to my Ozma guide. Ozma Raid is very different from any other raid. There are things that you need to know. Raid difficulty can be adjusted during the raid. There are 4 levels. Level 1 and above enables a special auction at the end of the raid. Using life token does not reset your cooldown. New system called Sanity. When your sanity goes to 0, you are transformed into an imposter. You have to counter 3 times to escape from the sanity room. If everyone becomes an imposter at the same time, you will be booted out from the dungeon. This guide will only be up to level 1. The goal of phase 1 is to defeat Kazan in Grouband. To gain access, you will need to clear Pass to Ruin and Despair. In the Pass of Ruin, you will need to clear Benta, located at the key symbol. Red or yellow parties can just burst him down and ignore his gimmicks. But I will explain his major gimmicks. Golden circles suddenly appear on the map. Run into them to avoid map wipe. Run into the yellow circle and jump to avoid his attack. When you see a large green circle, stop attacking and follow the light. Green light will eventually shrink and move around the map. You will need to follow it and stay inside the circle. Benta can knock us down. Hold on to quick rebound to avoid the explosion. Now for the groggy gimmick. Benta will channel shockwaves. Jump to dodge them. But the goal is to break the 4 orbs at each corner. You must break them in order to force him into grog. Corridor. Clearing this dungeon provides a damage buff for short amount of time. It is important to maintain the buff. The green party usually handles this dungeon. Be aware of his flying discs. The only gimmick you need to know from this guy is when he does a firestorm. He will create 4 firestorms targeting each player. You need to have 2 firestorms collide with him to send him into grog. Well, that's if you are doing C1. If you are doing C0, you only need to hit him once. The boss of this area is Barriers. At the start, it's a Mad Max style car chase. Just dodge. When you have opportunity, hit his ass until the gauge is empty. He has a few gimmicks. A purple field will appear and lasers that spin anti-clockwise. Just jump or just simply dodge it. Next gimmick. Souls will surround him. Make his car crash into him until all the ghosts are gone. Immediately afterwards, he will create a rotating pattern of souls and 4 circles. Each person will need to stand on a circle to stop a soul in place for a short time. You will need to ensure each circle has 1 soul before the gauge is over. Crossroad of Despair. The key for this area is Despero. His main gimmick to know. He will create spikes around the map. then target one person and charge at them. That person will need to make him crash into his spikes 3 times and he will go into grog. Next, Sarha. Clearing this will provide a sanity buff, allowing you to recover sanity faster and provides a boost for the next phase. She has one main gimmick, the Jellyfish game, a game of red light and green light. The goal is to run towards the left to find your body. Pay attention to the gauge below. When it drops, you need to stop moving or you will be paralyzed. When at least 2 people reach their bodies, she will go into grog. When the key is cleared, the boss of this area, Tiamat, will be available. The first gimmick, he will attempt to capture you. Avoid the circle. He will go invincible and you will need to find him. When his HP drops to 80%, he will summon his horse. He is invulnerable during this action. Afterwards is usually where people will burst him down. He will create tiles that drain a lot of sanity. Avoid those. He may also target one person and balls will drop on the area that person is located. Just move away. The main gimmick, Tiamat will split the map and target one person. That person will need to jump to a safe spot, as Tiamat will jump at that area and fill that spot with tiles. This will repeat 3 times. Once it's over, he will go into grog. Alinos. This will continuously recover until phase 1 is over. Every 2 minutes while it is up, it will stack songs. First song will drop a meteor around each dungeon. Second song will increase the defense of all boss monsters. Third song will reset the raid. So make sure you clear this place whenever it respawns. Calling Jade has a few gimmicks. When she slams her face to the ground, if you get knocked down, quick rebound. Another one is that she will put greenish brown vomit around the map. When she starts to suck everyone in, you need to use those to slow yourself down. If you are close, you can press tab at the right time to avoid the bite. When she moves to the other side of the map, quickly run behind her to avoid purple vomit. Elfell, the key. The boss Chaos Eden K should be bursted down immediately. Be wary of his feathers. His main gimmick, Crawlstone, will create a circle at the center. You will need to avoid crows and stay within the circle. Afterwards, he will knock everyone down, use kick rebound to avoid damage, and he will go into grog. To ascend to Chaos 1, you will need to clear Mata's Chapel. He will surround players with shield soldiers. You can use tab or jump over it. In this gimmick, he is invulnerable and you will need to move to the left and avoid his attacks. He may become a Beyblade and start chasing one target until he becomes dizzy. His final gimmick: all players will be chained. A bunch of shield men will try to trap you, but if you wait a while, some of them will disappear. Stand at the gap to be pulled to parallel and avoid damage. This will repeat 3 times, then you will need to run to the left side of the map. Then he will go into grow. Red Altar of Paradise. The boss Leonid needs to be cleared when the red party is ready. Clearing this dungeon will grant damage buff against Kazan and remove his immunity for 30 seconds. He will summon one large shield and target one player. That player controls where the shield is facing. Move the shield to block incoming orbs 3 times. His main gimmick: he will form shields around him. A player will be randomly chosen. After a short time, a boomerang will fly towards Leonid. You will need to have it hit 3 times to send him into grow. When his HP is very low, he will spawn 3 circles. You will need to run to each circle and he will be ready to be cleared. The final area, Grouband Kazan, the final boss of phase 1. It is important to avoid his attacks as much as possible. When you get hit, a red orb will spawn. When those orbs turn green, immediately collect them or Kazan will recover his HP. When the incapacitate bar, when it reaches to 100%, Kazan will go into small grow and all the orbs will turn green. Collect them first before you do any damage. He will gather everyone on the map and chain one person. Break the chain to free that person and run out from the circle to avoid the explosion. He will first drop his spear and deal damage to the targeted area. Avoid the attack. Afterwards, everyone needs to run to the other edge of the map. There will be a small yellow circle. One person will need to stand on that circle and counter-attack him when you see his eyes glow red. If you succeed, the wave of red will not reach to the end. In his awakening, he will chain everyone on the map. This cannot be avoided. At 10%, he becomes immune to all damage. That means you have to wait for the other party to clear Leonid. So let your raid members know when you are ready to clear. Once you defeat Kazan, phase 1 will be over. Phase 2. As soon as the raid starts, every party will go into Ozma. Burst the moment you enter. Green party's main goal is to survive. Ozma will recover his HP if there are no party inside the dungeon. Other parties will clear connected dungeons or rest outside to recover their sanity. Parties in Ozma can move to the other dungeon without retreating. Just open the map interface and click into the connected dungeon. Let's start with the connected dungeon. Armis. Clearing this dungeon will grant a damage buff for a short time. Usually, red goes into Armis after bursting Ozma. Banya's gimmicks are very simple. Do not burst him down as you enter. Wait for his mirror gimmick, because he will receive more damage during that time. Two different people must collect two separate orbs before it disappears during his patterns. I will now explain about his orb gimmicks. This gimmick, he will blink to the right and left edge of the map. Stand on the bottom or top side to avoid his attack. After 2 times, orbs will drop at the center. He will teleport to center and 2 in and 2 young balls will drop from each end. A line will be linked to the people closest to the edge. Move past each other to make opposite colored balls crash. If it's done before the gauge goes down, an orb will spawn. In this gimmick, he will first create a large circle. He will then target one random person inside the circle. Mirror gimmick. If you are doing harder modes or your party is lacking damage, the people who collected the orbs can grab the yin or yang balls and run to the opposite colored mirror to extend the time. Next we have Elerinon. You get to play with Astaros. You can hold her when she first appears. If you don't, she will charge into you. She only does a few things. First, she will trap one player in endless form. You can hit your teammate to free them. Second, she will target one person and charge into that person 4 times, leaving flaming ground that does damage. After the 4th charge, she will run back to the start and the flaming ground explodes. Don't run too far and spread the fire all over the room. Third gimmick. Astaros will create 3 portals and randomly go into one of them and come out from other portal. When she comes out from the portal, she will mark few places and make explosions. Find a safe spot and remember where she went and came out. We call portal on the left side 1, portal in the middle 2, and portal on the right 3. After repeating this 3 times, she will slow the time and choose one portal to go in. Go into the portal that does not link from the previous pattern. After that, she will go into small grove. Finally, Ozma. He has a lot of gimmicks. Pay attention and avoid as many attacks as possible. Chain gimmick. He will chain few players, either red or black. Red, you will need to gather together. Black, get away from each other. Big yellow circle on one player. Stack on top of your teammate to remove the damage. Large laser. Random player will be targeted with purple circle. Run away from your allies. After a short time, laser will rain down at the circle. Small lasers. Players will be targeted with small circles and small lasers will rain from the above and expand. Move away. Cone gimmick. When this pattern happens, 2 color circles will spawn on different players. The person with matching colored circle to the attack will create a safety cone. Others will need to stay on the green cone. A player will be targeted with a laser line. You will need to pass it on to the others or get jabbed. That player will be also targeted by a large meteor that will spawn a tombstone. Avoid it and make sure the meteors drop away from other tombstones. In C1, you will need 3 tombstones on the map before the gauge goes down. A random tombstone will create a NAM bubble. Run to it to avoid damage. On each player, a gauge will appear. Collect the white orbs until the gauge hits the marker. If done correctly, a NAM bubble will spawn on you. Eyes. Very simple. An open eye, stare at him. If you have X, look away. There will be a lot of yellow circles on the map. You need to stand on the circle to find safe zone. There are only 4 safe zones, 1 zone per person. Move around until all of you find the safe zone. Be careful, there will be small explosions, avoid them and make sure you are in the circle as the bar empties. Players will get 3 orbs above them, and orbs will cause a shockwave from the center. When you jump, a shockwave will happen. Others will need to jump over it. Tips: do not jump. Use the backstab if your class can. Or, everyone can gather up at the same point and jump together. When this gimmick happens, pay attention to what you have. One player will have a yellow aura around them. The person with yellow aura needs to run at the other players to knock them over, to save them. Party must match 5 orbs to the corresponding colors before the bar empties. It is much easier if you match the colors in orders that is displayed on the top of the bar. Counter gimmick. This happens when Ozma HP is around 5 to 20%. It is much easier if all parties are in Ozma or at least 2. If you are on C0, need to counter 30 times, C1 requires 35. Final part of Ozma, just go all out and burst him down. There will be some green orbs on the map. You can pick those up to recover 30 seconds of cooldown on all of your skills. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching and hope this video helps you guys.